3, 2, 1, and we are live. Hello, all, and welcome to another episode of Sound Booth Theater Live. My name, as always, today even, and yesterday it was as well, is Justin Thomas James. And I'm a narrator. Wait, what? Wait.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
No, we're live. It's just mine doesn't say on air. It says off air.
Oh, yes. Because we've got a weird little setup here where we're not actually using the Google Hangout. We are streaming through OBS. So you guys are live. So, community, if you are watching this and everything sounds messed up and things aren't how they're supposed to be, then please let us know and we can try to change this, maybe start over. But so far, I think everything's going smooth. Who am I here with? I'm here with another narrator, Sound Booth Theater main man himself, Mr. Jeff Hayes. Say hello, Jeff.
Howdy, folks.
There he is. Listen to that voice.
That's me. I'm Jeff Hayes. How you doing, y'all?
Listen to that peanut butter smooth voice.
Extra chunky smooth.
Extra chunky smooth. And of course, we have the author himself, who we are featuring today, named Lars M. The last name being Machmuller. Is that correct? Is that well pronounced?
You are very much approaching the German sound of the Machmuller.
Machmuller. Yeah. Oh, Muller. Is it Machmuller?
It's very German. You have to almost threaten using
Machmuller.
There we go, man.
Danke. Yeah, and Lars, you are. I don't know if you knew this, but you're the author of Wayward Bard and The Fallen Bard. Yeah?
Sounds about right. Yeah,
that sounds about right. These are both in the World of Chains series, and we're going to be reading some from The Fallen Bard today. We are going to be joined later by Miss Lori Catherine Winkle, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for that pleasure, who shall be arriving hopefully soon. And I'll check the Discord just to make sure. Yep. Oh, she says she'll be here in a couple of minutes, so there we go. You're not going to be waiting too long. And so before she arrives, I would just like to say hello to everybody. Who do we have here, Jeff? Who's watching right now?
Let's see. We have Mr. Philip D. Hernandez, Michael Polson Durr, and John Alford, and that's about everyone who's said anything at this point. There's 6 people watching. We need more people to speak up so we know who's hanging out with us.
Roll call. Let's see ya. Say hello if you're watching. Also, if you're watching, please check out the links in the description below. There's a bunch of fun little links that'll lead you to The Fallen Bard on Amazon, and also to the Facebook groups, Sound Booth Theater Live Facebook group, the Gamelet Society. Oh, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say it like this.
Shikimaru 118 is here. Frederick Tromsdal. Corvus Niger. I'm afraid to pronounce it any other way.
Yep.
And Ron Smith.
Hello, everybody. My goodness, that roll call was very effective.
Yeah, it was. We got to get them pumped. We got to get them engaged.
Engage.
I think it was Deirdre.
Deirdre!
Oh, engage, dude. Did you see the trailer for Star Trek Picard?
I haven't watched it yet.
No,
I haven't watched it.
I know. You totally said something relevant on accident.
Oh, engage.
That was how they ended the trailer. With Picard, like, engage.
Of course. Well, that's what he said. That was his catchphrase in Next Gen. Okay. I was making a Next Gen reference. You were making a Picard reference, and it all worked out in the end.
Well, it's just relevant is all I'm saying because of that new show.
Man, yeah, that's going to be sick.
Excited.
Is anybody here? Is anybody here going to watch that? Are you gonna? You're gonna watch that, right, Lars?
Actually, I'm not a Trekkie. I'm with pretty much any other science fiction series out there. I mean, you name it, Farscape, Stargate, but not Star Trek for some reason.
Dude, I only like Next Gen, really.
Just Picard.
And so I don't know, Picard, like just seeing him back, and like hearing about the new Star Trek and how it's kind of lame, and like how it's kind of been going downhill. No, well, the movie too.
Oh,
I mean,
Discovery.
the movie seems kind of. I haven't seen it, but like it just looks like all actiony, and not boring, thoughty Star Trek like Star Trek is supposed to be,
Right.
Not proper boring. Yeah,
not proper boring.
Sounds bad.
Boring. Yeah, I'll probably watch it. My dad will probably watch it. My dad is a huge Trekkie, so we'll be probably getting together and watching. His favorite is Next Generation as well. I grew up on that. Well, I didn't grow up on it actually. I wouldn't consider myself a big Trekkie either, but I did hear the main theme song a ton. Da 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 da. It was like the soundtrack to my childhood.
Yeah, it was definitely my dad's thing with Next Generation. And what the fuck was that?
That was a sci-fi sound effect.
Okay.
Placed ship
good
flying
call.
by. Well placed, Lars. Well placed.
Yeah, we're back to what we were talking about. I used to watch TNG with a German translator or German subbed. It was not good.
Yeah, my dad also used to watch Next Generation, and that's why I have fond memories of it. Because once in a while, I would come in and watch it with him, and he'd be like tired as fuck after work, and just like eating peanuts and just watching Star Trek. And there would be like a marathon for that show every few months or something. I don't know what the hell was going on with it, but yeah, Picard was definitely a huge. Oh my God, it's Lori!
Oh God!
Whoa!
Oh God! Can you guys hear me?
I hear you. I hear you. Your camera is low. Are you able to shift your camera up a little bit? Just like
yeah.
There we go.
I did. I was trying to avoid this lens flare up here.
Glare,
very Michael Bay.
Maybe just block it with your
head.
head.
I just slouch?
Or you could block it with your head, and you'll just look like you have a halo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you hear me better now? And I think that it's on my laptop microphone right now.
Yeah.
We hear you fine.
You
sound good. That's not doing it. Okay. It must be my laptop. I can't. There we go. I want to get the good mic. What about now? You hear me better now?
Oh yeah, I hear you now.
Good.
Michael Polsender. No, JTJ, don't ruin our boob shot.
Oh.
What boob shot?
Well,
oh wait.
We could have theoretically had an entire hangout just focused on your chest, but
could have done that.
You could have done that. But that just doesn't come through in audio, It's
it
like
really doesn't.
Listeners expect
unless you were to write a segment for that. And now we are still looking at this is minute 15 of Lori's chest. It looks the same as minute 14. Yeah, so Lori Catherine Winkle's here, everybody. And if we had a live television studio audience, they would clap right now. But we don't.
Thank you. How's that? Is that better?
That's
more
perfect.
Mysterious.
That's excellent. Wow, the lighting is impeccable.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Very well produced.
I appreciate that.
Entire,
do I look appropriately moody and creepy?
Yes. Well, creepy, yes.
Thank you. I strive for a certain level of creepiness. I'm trying to figure out. I'm sounding like I'm underwater now.
No, you sound fine. You sound great.
Yeah.
Okay, is it just me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got.
This isn't doing anything.
We can hear that. We hear the tapping.
I just can't tell if I'm using my. It doesn't matter. If you can hear me fine, then it's great.
I'm pretty sure you're using whatever you were just tapping. Where you were doing the.
Cool. Is this my to-go microphone setup? Because I just moved into a new place and I don't have internet yet. And I remembered this about 10 minutes ago, and I was like, ah, shit. So I started to run down the street to my partner's house and use their internet. So.
Perfect. Does it come with fries?
It came with coffee. So. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, no, Ballmasters cup. Haven't figured out what that is, but
Ballmasters. Yeah, what is that? What is Ballmasters? That sounds.
It might be an Adult Swim thing. He works at Adult Swim, so it might be something related to that. But yeah,
I'm not googling anything.
Well, not in public.
So to get us back on track.
Did I miss? What did I miss?
Yeah, you missed us talk about Star Trek Picard for about 20 minutes. And
great! I don't know anything about that shit. So
and a world made of peanut butter.
A world? No, that was before
I don't
want
to live in a world made of peanut butter.
No, we decided it would not be for the best for most people involved. But good. Hey, so
we have.
Hey, I keep on trying to get this back on what this show is supposed to be about. Yeah, we're live. We're live right now, guys.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
Oh shit! So, World of Chains, Sound Booth Theater live. You're creating the audio book, or not live, but all that stuff. Fallen Bard is out. Check that out. Link is in the description. And for your viewing pleasure, unfortunately not Lars, Jeff, or Lori, but anybody at home, we have a little treat for you. If you were unaware, a few months ago, Lars wrote a song about bards. And we are going to play that song for you guys. Yes, it's.
Wait, we're not doing a live performance, are we?
No, we're not doing a live performance. Don't you worry about that.
Okay. Okay, that's what I was worried about.
Okay, you're good. You're good. I have the video queued up, which is something that I can say now and actually mean it. And the performers are Jeff Hayes as the wizard, Laurie Catherine Winkle as the barbarian, and
barbarian.
Just kidding. I'm
not a bard, so
yeah, just a regular barbarian, and of course Annie Ellicott as the Gregorian opera.
You mean a berserker? Wasn't I a berserker?
Oh, you were a berserker. That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You got it. And I played the bard. So, with any more ado, does anybody have an ado before we get to this?
And do I have a what? I'm sorry. Do I have a what?
Without further ado is what I was going to say, but now I'm asking whether or not anyone else has any ados.
You can't just ask a lady if she has a do. It's not that kind of broadcast.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, maybe it is an 18+ show. Okay, no more ados. Here we go. I'm muting them. You can't hear them anymore. Boop. Ha ha. And now you can't hear me.
Berserkers are masters of mayhem. We leave no opponents alive. You're looking for someone to slay them? Then this is exactly our jive.
Nah. Go Bard. That's smart. Might lose a fist fight to an NPC. Yeah. Bard class. Such sass, and your punch will forever be free.
We wizards are kings of the arcane. Our spells lend control of it all. When faced with a threat from the mundane, I just need my old fireball.
Bah! Screw smarts. Choose bards. We might have the brains of a chimpanzee. Bard class. With a nice ass, will always beat necromancy.
Our cleric is her god's defender. Divine magic straight to your face. Should God be away on a bender, I'll educate you with my mace.
Go Bard. Party hard. The one single thing we do well is flee. Bard class. Forget mass. At least we don't have to get on our knees. I mean, that would be uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When we all set out for adventure, I always wind up on the bench. But their laughter soon changes to censure when I take home the lone tavern wench. Everybody, rock hard. Go Bard when the party says that I'm always wrong. Bard class, first class. They forget who will make up our song. Cheers!
I won't be home very long though. I'll be my niece is being born.
We are
and
back.
I've missed.
Lori's niece is being born. Congratulations, Lori's niece.
My sister's child. There's no way she's watching this. But congratulations to her. And to me, because I'm a niece. I'm not a niece. I am a niece. But the correct word is aunt. I'm an aunt.
You're an aunt.
Already batting 1,000. Really good at this.
That's congratulations. That's amazing. So this is this is your first niece?
Wow, I have no idea what you just said.
Oh,
is everybody coming through really clear for you guys?
Not from Justin.
No.
Sounds like Justin is gargling water.
How's that? Is that working now?
That's better.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there, but okay. It doesn't sound like I'm crackling up at all.
Nope.
Beautiful. Okay, yes. Congratulations.
Puberty's over.
Okay. Oh man. Oh boy.
Oh.
Lori's
boy.
Lori's about to give birth to a niece.
Is that how that
she
works?
said.
Yeah, I'm
she said
hardly showing.
it was an aunt. I'm pretty sure.
Oh
she
yeah,
said.
she's gonna give birth to an aunt. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. That science checks out.
Well, I think it's time we get to some narration.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
We got
Okay.
everybody's got your scripts.
Yes. And
Yes,
Gil is the David Hasselhoff halfling, right?
Yeah, very
Okay.
much so.
Yeah.
Imagine his hair blowing in the breeze.
David Hasselhoffling.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yes. So
I
guess-
might need brief pauses to remind myself what characters sound like, because my brain is a game lit soup, as
I
I'm
know.
sure other narrators can relate.
Oh yeah.
But Bard was a good one. Okay, let's ready when you are.
Dope. Okay.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry.
the characters in this are I'll be doing Arcangelo in the narration. Laura, you're going to be the AI, and Daria, I'm going to say
It was Daria.
Is it Daria?
yes.
Daria.
But Daria is how we pronounced it for the entire first audiobook. And
Oh really?
yep.
Did we?
Yep.
Yep.
But Lars has got us covered, and you'll see why in scene 3. But for now, Daria, do you remember how she sounds?
She had I think she had an American accent. She
Yes.
sounded like me, didn't she? I mean,
Yeah, she's just tough. She's got like a kind of tough orc
oh ouch.
fighter.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm not tough, is what you're saying.
Well, you have like you don't sound like an orc necessarily.
Oh, but I mean, I didn't like. Did I give her a deeper voice? I can't remember. Like I didn't, right? I think I kept her like me, but like cooler than me.
No, it was pretty much the abrupt. I mean, a bit gruff, and then a bit short, punctuated sentences. Not as what do you call it? Melodious as your voice usually is.
Why, thank you for saying that. I didn't know that my voice was melodious.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well then, here we go. Here is scene
Okay.
1 from.
And the AI was typical AI, right? We're not a British
Yes.
accent, right?
Yeah, just straight. So actually, in book 1, I did most of the AI because there was a bit of a script mix-up. But in book 2, you're going to have Lori as the AI
Okay.
for the book. So here we go.
All right.
Fallen Bard, scene 1. Take it away, Lori.
You have been offered a quest, winning hearts and minds. With the worst local threats eliminated, the Council of Grant's Crossing looks to expand their hold on the nearby area. In order to aid them, improve relations with either the kobolds to the east or the local harpy nest to the west. Reward: unknown, depends on the degree of success. Plus 500 universal reputation. Accept, decline.
My brow furrowed. So, you want me to single-handedly either deal with the group of harpies that had your entire council on the run back in the day, that or a whole community of Grex? His grin faded, and he shrugged awkwardly.
Yeah, I know. It's a hard sell, but honestly, the village could really do with some improved relations with either of the groups. Think it over, will you?
I will. Sheer curiosity here. If I were to embark on either of these, which would you choose? No hesitation.
Kobolds. From what I've heard, the harpies are really tricky in combat. You'll want to improve a bit before you take them on.
So, translated to game speak, the harpies were probably higher level compared to the kobolds. I nodded in thanks, and Gillum took off with a parting grin, leaving a foaming ale on the edge of the stage. Good guy. I was definitely not jumping at the bit to get on with that quest. For one, I was quite at ease in the village and in no hurry to get on with the plot. Apart from that, well, I really didn't want too much universal reputation. I was trying to remain inconspicuous here. While I was packing, I was surprised to see Daria approach me at the stage. I greeted her with a smile. These days we weren't at odds, and I enjoyed the experience. We weren't hanging out or anything, but at the very least there was no animosity between us. She gave me a lopsided smile.
You're an insufferable nerd, you know? War never changes.
I grinned and shrugged. Guilty as charged. I'm glad there was a fellow nerd around, though. Otherwise, no one would have gotten the reference. Daria's grin grew wider.
Walked right into that one, didn't I? I just wanted to say that it wasn't entirely horrible tonight. It's nice to hear some of the older songs from time to time. Would have liked to hear you play Let's Go Sunning. Probably wasn't the mood you were going for, though.
No. A little happy for a discussion of war and repercussions, probably. Tell you what, though. First off, I think I could play it, but I definitely don't remember the lyrics for that one. And second, the lead's a woman, if I remember correctly. If you'll sing it, I'll play it. Deal? Her smile slipped a bit at that.
No, I don't think it's fair to inflict my singing on the poor villagers. They don't hurt me, I don't hurt them. You keep up the good work, though, Archangelo. I see a lot of smiling people here.
I could only watch in awe as she turned and walked away. If she were an NPC, I'd judged that I'd finally made it to liked reputation. I shook my head and slowly made my way up to my room. Some dusty old poem said something like, "The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep." While I didn't have far to go at all, I did have promises to keep. Moments later, I'd opened the shutters, and my old friend the chameleon greeted the tones of Blue Moon, played pizzicato style, with what I could only interpret as a deeply satisfied hiss. I was just about to go to bed when I recalled a tiny detail I'd omitted and sat down to chronicle what I'd learned about the separation. Shortly,
Hold on, someone just flushed the toilet on my face.
That's kind of what he's into.
Can you go back a couple sentences?
I was just about to go to bed when someone flushed the toilet on my face, and I also recalled a tiny detail I'd omitted, and sat down to chronicle what I'd learned about the separation. Shortly, I received a quest update.
Congratulations, you have completed the quest, the beginning and the end. You have uncovered the story of the separation as it is told today all over the continent of Ion? Ion. All over the continent of Ion. Base reward, +2 to chronicler skill. Reward for unearthing other stories than the official one, +1 to chronicler skill.
Later, I slept, happy with my small yet peaceful world. Da-da-da-da.
Okay, Lori, the
reference.
Yeah, do you know that reference?
I sure do. That reference is clearly Fallout 4 that I played a lot of. 'Cause,
Yeah, you're gonna have to channel Ron Perlman on that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Does Ron Perlman do the voice?
Yeah.
I'm always
the-
channeling Ron Perlman.
On the wrecking ball.
Changes.
Okay.
War never changes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I like how the line is, "You're a nerd," and then he says, "I'm glad there was a fellow nerd around." I was over here like, reference. Gave myself away.
Oh, sweet! You can play Kobold now.
Yes.
That toilet.
Yeah.
There's the toilet again.
Toilet flushing.
Yeah, so the next scene we're going to be playing some kobolds, and these are new characters. But before we do, Lars, would you be able to talk a little bit about the plot of Book 2? Book 1 ends with him figuring out that... spoilers! Spoilers if you haven't read or listened to Book 1. Don't listen for the next 30 seconds. But by the end of Book 1, he's figured out who was responsible for Grant's Crossing being an issue and not flourishing. And how does this book take off from there?
Well, it basically continues pretty much a couple of days after that, where everything is peaceful and quiet. That's about it. And he's like the scene you just did. Well, he's just chilling. He's enjoying himself, and he does not feel the need to do pretty much anything except what he needs to chill out in the village. But he is then forced into actually doing one of those quests and go out and try to make friends with the kobolds.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, these very racist, very xenophobic, and pretty unfriendly kobolds, they don't exactly accept him in. So he's pretty much forced into friending it with the lowest of the low in the kobold society. And that's where you start the scene, where he's been granted a very short-term refuge with a couple of anathema fallen in the kobold society.
And that's where we meet these two characters. So let's start with Arak.
Yeah.
It's Iraq.
Have you
It's a
played?
country.
Have you played Planescape Torment?
I have not. No, I've played Torment Tides of Numenera, which is the same company, but it's similar
same.
to that, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Shut it, Lord.
Torment Tides of the Numenera is my favorite game. The cake is a
Planescape.
lie, though.
Play Planescape Torment, Lars.
Yeah, there's just a quote from there where he goes, "The rock sings true." That's basically how you say it. A rock.
A rock.
Okay.
And what's her personality like? What direction can you give the Lori?
If you picture a high school girl who is just about as appears just about as fluffy and happy and pink and empty-headed as they come.
Okay.
That's her. I mean, really, really, really happy. Of course, there's a lot more to her, but that's how she basically rolls.
And
Interesting. Okay.
She's
do you
also
want
a kobold.
She would look like a demon lizard, right? I mean,
Yeah.
She looks like a small dragonlet with
okay.
the only thing that separates her from Greg is not looking like an alcoholic who's been on a bender for 20 years, and then that that she has unnaturally thin arms due to an injury she sustained
Okay.
years ago. So yeah,
So
small,
vocally, she's gonna sound more human, not be like kind of things.
yeah, we discussed it this Justin and I that maybe we should give the kobolds like a slight roughness, but nothing as animalistic or as rough as Greg was, because his voice has an excuse for sounding rough, all
Mhm.
the ale.
Do you want that weird German Scottish accent that I was doing for Greg?
I was actually thinking no accent is good for them because they have their own language.
Okay,
So
they're basically speaking their own language here.
yeah, when they speak, well, they speak in common, but they also have we also have a few sentences here and there of their own language.
Okay.
Great. And so Videk, do you want to talk a little bit about what Videk is like?
Yeah, Videk is he's a scoundrel. He's a rogue. He's channeling Harrison Ford and Captain from Firefly. That's charismatic rogue, but just a tiny bit darker because Videk don't give a damn. I mean, he has done some stuff that's pretty dark, but basically that anything goes charismatic rogue. He's a happy fella generally, but he loves teasing people. That's yeah.
All right. Jeff, Lori, are you ready?
Yes.
I think so. Yes.
Let's do this. Scene 2 from Fallen Bard, the Fallen Bard even. Here we go. Good start. Here we go. Take 2. A bit later, my mind decided to rejoin the company. What with the near-death experience on top of the actual death experience, however, I still felt a little rough around the edges, like that feeling you sometimes get when a bad hangover has passed. You feel sort of sober, but are confident that you're not firing on all cylinders. I blurted what was closest to mind. Are they gone? The small female, a rock, gave me a sympathetic smile.
A while ago. Don't worry, we've been down here for a couple of years now, and you're the first one to find it. Not that many bother roaming around out here, but still.
She cocked her head with a thoughtful expression that made her look really young, razor-sharp teeth or not.
That reminds me, how did you find us?
I shrugged. Smart girl taught me a couple of tricks on tracking. The dirt around your door gets displaced when you open it, and the handle looked like it had been used. Apart from that, pits if I know. A mixture of good eyesight and dumb luck, I believe. I looked around, really taking in the place. With a dirt floor and walls and sparse furnishment that looked like it had been recycled from 10 different Goodwills, it was not what you'd call classy. This very moment, however, my standards were non-existent. A rock seemed quite a bit more forthcoming than Darek, and I tried nudging her a bit. Would you mind giving me a grand tour? I asked with a smile. She gave me a lopsided grin.
Are you guys getting that same thing again?
The
Where
summer flushing?
Justin cut. Sounds like he's underwater all of a sudden.
Crackly again?
Just for like a line or two.
It was gone. It's gone now.
How is it now?
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's better. Yeah. Do you want to just take the last like 2 lines over again?
Yeah, I will. And actually, Lars, how did I pronounce? Is it Derek or Derek?
Derek. Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah.
Derek.
Arak seemed quite a bit more forthcoming than Derek, and I tried nudging her a bit. Would you mind giving me the grand tour? I asked with a smile. She gave me a lopsided grin.
This isn't the chief's palace, but sure.
She sprang to her feet, and I followed as she led the way.
I was the one who found the place, you know? I'm a scrounger. I find stuff. It's what I'm best at. And Chubby, that's my big brother Videk over there, has helped me and Darek keep it secret ever since. You know, oh wait, you probably don't. But it's really hard as a fallen to actually keep stuff. A lot harder than finding it in the first place. Of course, with so few of us having actual homes and the casts lording it over us.
Fallen? What's the difference between being anathema? And
Anathema.
fallen? Anathema.
Anathema.
And fallen.
Anathema.
What's the difference?
No
between
difference.
Being... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
No difference, really, except, you know, anathema is what they call us, usually with a sneer. Down here, we know that it's not always your own fault if you stumble and fall.
Arak's merry chatter was a welcome diversion, and I took in their home with a smile building on my face. It was rather spacious, really. The entrance was also the common room, kitchen, and sleeping area, but they had 3 large rooms on top of that. One was both orderly and half empty, with a bunch of filled crates stacked at one end, and 2 huge jury-rigged tables.
This is our crafting room for when Videk and I stick our heads together and try to craft some stuff.
The hesitation at the end caught my attention, but I saved my curiosity for later. I also noted with satisfaction how both my blackmail and diplomacy skills had increased during my interactions with the trio earlier. With diplomacy at 9, I looked forward to seeing what would happen at the apprentice level when I hit 10. The largest room was probably 10 by 5 meters and filled.
Yeah, toilet's done. All right.
With...
What is it?
I don't know.
Is it a plane, Lars? Is it a plane going overhead?
I'm sticking with toilet.
Toilet, okay. It's a big, giant toilet.
Yeah.
The largest room was probably 10 by 5 meters and filled with paraphernalia. Junk mostly, but arrayed in a purposeful manner that I initially failed to comprehend.
We train here. Well, Darek teaches and I train mostly, but sometimes Videk joins us. Darek's a real good teacher. You'll see.
The final room took me completely by surprise. It was quite clearly an impromptu classroom. A couple of undersized chairs, accompanied by small desks, were gathered in front of a larger desk that held a smattering of books and scrolls. Behind the larger desk was also a homemade bulletin board filled with maps, sketches, and lists. I was itching to see everything that was portrayed, but unfortunately, even a short glance was enough to confirm that most was written in kobold.
Darek is mostly into practical stuff, but Videk insists that I learn all sorts of things. Mathematics mostly, but also some interesting stuff now and then, like sleight of hand or how to spot who's alert and who isn't.
You're a scrounger. What does that mean exactly? What about the other 2?
Darek's an old hunter. He's slow, but he's still a great shot, and he's an absolute wonder at teaching beginners. Woods lore, tactics, monsters, weapons, you name it. Sometimes he gets a job in Pit and Square. Not often lately, though. You'd better ask him for yourself, really. Chubby is a jack of all trades and really too clever for his own good. Don't tell him I said so, though. He's overconfident as it is. He does all our bartering, and when we have a bad month, he's usually able to make a deal with somebody.
You seem like a talented bunch. I'd love to hear how you met at some point. She beamed, grinning mischievously.
That'd take some ale. It's not a tale for the faint of heart, but we almost forgot the most important person here. Me.
She performed an exaggerated flourish, which looked extremely silly with her tiny stature.
I'm, simply put, the best thief in Nerit. Or is it Nerit?
Nereid.
Nerit? Nerit. I'm, simply put, the best thief in Nerit.
I did not know how to answer that. On one hand, I felt offended that a young girl such as her was so upfront about being a thief, and clearly proud of it, too. On the other, I had my doubts about her claims. She was not exactly an impressive specimen of kobold kind. Even smaller than Talon, her arms were stick-thin, revealing the blood vessels beneath her orange-tinged scales. Sure, the way she moved spoke of impressive agility. But what good would that be if even somebody as weak as me would be able to hold her back until the authorities arrived? I didn't mention any of these thoughts. I'm not completely daft, but some of it must have been apparent on my face.
You doubt me? Seriously? A clumsy, smooth-skinned, pale half-breed who hardly knows how to walk without keeling over?
She rounded on me, eyes sparking in anger. The sudden change took me by surprise, and I backed away slowly, trying to calm her down. Whoa, I didn't say that. I'm sure you're an amazing... She pushed me in the midriff and followed right after, forcing me to look straight down upon her.
You're damn right I'm an excellent thief.
And suddenly, she stopped, throwing her body into one of the small chairs, lounging contentedly with the smile of a cat sated on salmon and cream.
And I'll give you a moment to appreciate just how good I am.
I am not proud of how long it took me to start patting my body and realize that somehow she'd been able to sweep the bronze ring of amiability off of my finger. The anger that erupted was about to have me shouting at her until, suddenly, I was struck by how completely I'd been had. I forced the anger down and chuckled lightly in appreciation. Appreciation.
I was wondering if that was a Canadianism or something.
No, that was
like,
appreciation. No, that's not. That's just me being adult. I must hand it to you. That was deftly done. Still, what if you get caught? Can you fight your way free? She looked less self-assured at that, even as she handed the ring back.
Videk has taught me a couple of tricks, and I've taught myself even more. I think I'd be able to get away from most people.
I let it go and derailed her attention. So, exactly how soundproof is this basement? Seconds later, I was basically dragged back to the living room. Somehow, Iraq... I don't know why I can't... I always have to do a... Is it Eric or Iraq in my head? But it's Iraq.
It's Iraq.
Iraq.
Look,
Barack Obama.
Iraq Obama. Thank you. I get it every time now. Somehow, Iraq had not managed to connect the dots and realize that having a bard in your home meant access to music and entertainment. I was more than happy to oblige. The last couple of days had me longing for escape. According to her, the basement was close to soundproof, and I should be able to play normally without worrying. A grudging nod from Derek confirmed this, while Videk took one look at the violin and fled the room. Letting my fingers run softly over the strings, I mused on what I wanted to play. I'd have plenty of time to exchange songs and stories with the trio. There was no reason for me to hurry back to Grant's Crossing, and every reason to let things develop slowly. And with that, I started playing. Most of the time, music comes to me without any struggle. Today, however, it was elusive, distant. I played tentatively, light notes building up, attempted melodies only to break down and rearrange themselves, flowing into different patterns. Slowly, however, relaxation set in, and the different tunes found a rhythm as if it had been there all along. Like the sea, it evolved, with the music growing in intensity like a wave reaching its crest before returning to the sea. And with each wave, the song built in intensity like a storm brewing. Only then did I discover what I was releasing through the music. Fury. Pent-up fury and anger, like nature's wrath unleashed upon an unsuspecting shore. I did nothing to guide it, simply enjoying the moment, the purity of being able to let my hands and violin speak for me. As can sometimes be the case with a violent storm, once the song had reached its apex, the violence slowly seeped out of it, and within moments the initial calm had returned. Closing the lid on the guitar case, I couldn't quell the smile on my lips. It might sound simplistic, but to me, playing was therapy, pure and simple. Videk came strolling in moments later, grimacing.
You done torturing cats? Good, because I'm thinking you're horribly ignorant of what you've gotten yourself into here, Narrit.
Narrit?
Narit.
Narrit. Long story short, you need a handler. Someone to tell you what's what. And I'm the guy to help you.
My con man senses started tingling immediately, and I smiled in return. I completely agree. And you'll do this out of the good of your heart, right? His grin was wide enough it felt like I was staring down a shark.
Oh, certainly. And the occasional gift. Freely given, of course.
At least he was obvious about his attitude, and I really did need to understand my situation if I were to somehow gain an audience with the chief. I find it very kind of you to offer, and I graciously accept. I bowed theatrically. He rubbed his hands together.
Any chance at doing something productive today is shot anyway. What with your friends up there? Let's go to the classroom.
Before we left, Arak jumped up from where she was sitting, taking everything in.
Can I come? I promise I'll be quiet. And your playing was wonderful. Are you always that angry, though?
In a firm tone, Videk cut her short.
Girl, I'm pretty sure Derek asked you to practice your dagger work.
Arak looked crestfallen but relented, walking off with bowed head. We followed her in silence, passing the training room before entering the classroom. Videk closed the door firmly behind us. He leaned on the door.
Now, I want to get this off my chest, so we understand each other.
He pointed at the door with a serious look.
Arak is the trusting sort. I, on the other hand, am not. You are not one of us. Whatever you want to achieve, you go ahead and do it, and then you go on your merry way. If we keep on like that, we will all be able to come out ahead. And as you'll learn...
He pointed a scaled thumb at himself, his toothy grin slowly reappearing.
I'm all about the profit.
I understand, and agree. I'm not going to butt into your private business here, but I hope we can arrive at a mutually beneficial agreement.
That's fancy folks talk. But it still sounds like profits to me. And profits, I understand. So, straight talk. You know next to nothing about Narit, right?
Yep. No point sugarcoating it.
All right. Derek can cover the history lesson at some point. I couldn't care less about that part, but he still has faith in society. Silly old codger. What you really need to learn is this. You officially don't exist. You're outside society. No one cares about you, your opinions, or whether you live or die. Except Talon and his bunch.
I didn't find that nearly as funny as Videk. My consternation only made him laugh all the harder.
Better get used to gallows humor, kid. It's what we got.
And scene.
Yay!
Well played, you two. Well
I
played.
like new characters.
How was that? I mean, he's supposed to be fat, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's pretty fat and just moves surprisingly fast for his girth. So yeah, and deep voice, yeah, maybe he bounces pretty much back and forth between hostility and good mood. So the positive sides maybe channel a bit more positivity, but apart from that, voice is
cool,
wonderful. And Laurie and Justin, I mean, oh yeah, love it.
Thanks.
Oh yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So, we've got a little bit of time left. We've got one more scene prepared for you all who are watching. By the way, we still have some viewers, so the chat's been pretty silent for a bit. So if you're still here, please say hello again and let us know that you're still listening and watching. And we've got a little.
What's your favorite color?
What is your favorite color? I've always wanted to know. Lori, what's yours?
I don't have one.
Lars is like, why is that funny?
Wait, I don't know why that's funny. Wait, why is that funny?
Because she suggested.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay. That's why I thought it was funny.
I'd have to think about it.
Okay. That's great.
Put some thought into it.
Great conversation starter. What's your favorite movie?
No, that's confidential.
What's your favorite Fallout game?
Yeah, that's a good.
Mine, all of them. For me, I would have to say number one is always going to be my number one.
Number one is number one.
My favorite line is war. War never changes. It's a good one.
That is a really
well, my
line.
favorite color is macaroni and cheese.
Okay. Like a goldenrod sort of.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No. Just specifically.
It's called macaroni and cheese. Crayola officially made it into a crayon.
Oh,
what, really?
Really?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
This is legit. How about you, Lars? What's your
Weren't
favorite?
Crayola are the keepers of color.
They used to have like scented crayons, didn't they?
Oh,
I wonder if there's a macaroni and
delicious.
cheese scented crayon.
I wonder how many kids shoved scented crayons up their noses.
Oh man.
I wasn't one of them.
Enough.
At least one kid did.
Two. I have one.
Oh, you have one who did that too?
Corvus.
Let's start a new trend, the Crayola challenge.
I think Corvus Niger thought we were asking what your favorite magic colors are, because he said blue black.
Blue black.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll allow it. It was better than my answer.
Magic
I don't have one.
Thanks, Corvus. He said something really nice.
Yeah, red and green. Red and green for the win.
Red and green. It's like brown.
I'm bug all the way.
Bug color.
What's bug?
Black, blue, green.
Black, blue, green. Oh. Yeah. No.
Where do you get bug out of that?
That's like pearlescent, like opal.
It's internet speak, because they like if they're gonna abbreviate the color names, B is taken by black already, so they use U to.
Yeah.
We have a number of people who are sharing their favorite colors. We got green, we got purple. Oh my god, we got royal purple too. Holy smokes.
Royal purple.
Royal purple. It's just regular purple, but
royal.
A little more regal.
Yeah.
Just a little more bearing and nobility. You know.
Exactly. Royal. Oh, that's the Canadian $10 bill is royal purple. Nope. The $10 bill.
You call the bill. You call it a royal purple.
We call it a royal purple. Yeah, in Canada we say, "Oh, can you pass me a royal purple, please?" Just can I get two royal purples instead of a royal green?
It's a color.
100%.
You're out of control.
It's the exact same color. It's just better than the other purples. You know,
It is.
like royal.
It is. It's the queen of
Can't
the
you just call
purples.
it cash like everybody else?
Nope.
Why
Nope.
would you call your?
Because
I mean,
it's
you
beautiful.
call
We
the
have
boonies
color
and
money.
toonies, like I don't know what I expected.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. I noticed while I was in Europe, like I played with 3 different other currencies, and none of them were euros. I was in the Balkans, and so
They
I,
must not be on the euro.
so I went to Bosnia, I went to Serbia, and I went to Poland. All 3 of them had different currencies, and they were. I just felt like I was playing with Monopoly money the entire
Yeah.
time. Just
Yep.
so many colors. It was beautiful. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I hope they never switch. I hope they just keep their currencies.
Why not?
So I
Why not have fun with it? Mind you, like physical currencies kind of go in the way of the dodo. Like
Not there, not in the Balkans, dude. Everyone's on cash over there. And again, another reason why I love that shit, man. It's like it's so
Nostalgic.
much more fun and intimate to
It
trade
is.
actual currency than to swipe the plastic.
Well, it is like playing Monopoly in real life.
Yes. I want to play.
Yeah. Plus, you get to share your diseases.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm collecting.
Yeah, diseases are hot. Anyway,
Okay,
so scene 3.
scene
What's going
3. So we're gonna do something a little bit different. So this is the scene that Jeff, you're gonna be playing Arcangelo for this. I'll be doing the narration. So for you who are watching, suspend your disbelief. It's first-person narration, so I'll be narrating, but Jeff's playing. You'll figure it out. And of course, Lori is going to play Daria/Daria, and Lars has a secret list that Lars, after a few lines, I'm going to have you say freeze. Okay? So we're going to start off just default, and then I want you to say freeze, and then I want you to assign a new voice to Jeff and Lori. Both of them at the same.
Please don't make
any
mine
given
Ron
point?
Perlman.
Pardon me?
At any given point?
At any given point. So yeah, give it a few lines, like, you know, a little bit. We want a little bit of back and forth. But then, whenever you feel like it's been long enough, then switch it up.
So
give
we're
them some
keeping
new
our
ones.
characters, but we're changing our voices.
You are keeping your characters unless you're changing your voices, unless the direction is to change the character. I don't know what he's got
Okay.
on his list.
Like I
so-
might Daria/Daria might suddenly become Sean Connery.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That could happen.
Cool.
Okay.
Also,
So
let's go.
here
Or
we
she
go.
might just have an accent. Okay.
Is he gonna change? Can he change your voice? Justin.
Yeah, sure. We can say he changes my voice too.
Also, I'm just gonna say you could probably take suggestions from the audience.
Oh, that's.
Oh yeah.
That
If-
is a
if you feel like it,
great
Lars.
idea.
If you
So
feel
if
like
you're
If you
watching
guys
right
come
now,
up with, yeah, you guys.
if any
got,
of you say any characters from Fallout, I will kill you. I will find you and I will kill you.
well, except Ron Perlman, you know him. And yeah, you feel free to
Yeah.
ignore them too if they're being idiots and they don't have good suggestions.
yeah, you don't have to use all the suggestions if you don't think it'll be good. All right. So Lars, you're calling the voices. Feel free to change mine too. And here we go. We're starting this in 3, 2, 1. A couple of minutes later, I was out of mana again and walked over to Daria, out of breath and with a smile on my face. She was cross-legged on the ground, watching the free show. I smiled in greeting and said, "Now you know how my day's been."
What?
What? What's up?
Isn't that my line?
Oh, that is. Yes, sorry. Yep. I forgot.
We already messed it up.
It's your line.
That's okay. Go ahead and lead me in.
I smiled in greeting and said,
Now you know how my day's been. How about yours?
Freeze.
Wait.
And
Okay.
Laurie, you're going to be the gloomy goth from now on.
Okay.
She put on a sad face.
No magical fire hoses for me, alas.
She replied, and then grinned.
But I got us dinner and breakfast and snacks.
She pointed back to the tree where she had tossed a small burlap sack, displaying an assortment of sprouts, mushrooms, and other vegetables. Next to it, on a rough tarp, lay the corpse of a deer. From the looks of it, she'd brought it down with a single arrow to the midsection. I whistled, impressed.
Nice catch, Daria.
She looked at me, assessing, and then cleared her throat.
Actually, it's pronounced Daria.
Freeze. Jeff, from now on, you are going to be the most cranky bastard of a great-grandfather who ever existed.
So we've got cranky grandfather and
Goth girl.
Goth girl. Gloomy goth girl.
Goth girl. Yeah.
I stared at her.
What? Are you serious? You mean to tell me I've been saying it wrong this entire time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Why didn't you correct me? Or clip me around the ear hole?
At first, I didn't much like you, and then, well, it was just, never the right time to tell you.
Oh, well, thank you for clearing that up.
Freeze. Justin, from now on, you are going to be an angel, archangel, extolling every comment with the valor and glory of God.
No pressure.
Silence fell over the clearing.
So, Daria, is that your real name? Or is there a story to the name?
She raised an eyebrow.
Are you seriously fishing for information, Mr. Oh so secretive Archangelo? Yeah, there's a story to it, but I'm not telling you until you tell me something about yourself.
Well, that's fair, I guess. I'm a Sagittarius.
She rolled her eyes.
I'm an absolute sucker for anti-heroes and stories.
She threw a handful of grass at me.
Me too, but I'm never telling at this rate.
Freeze. All right, Jeff, from now on, you're that business type who's always completely busy and talking away on his phone, just in an entirely different world.
All right, in real life, I'm a huge nerd from Denmark.
She tilted her head.
That was a whole lot better, but it's still a nope. Give me something real and I'll tell you.
I considered it. I really wanted to appease my curiosity, but it just wasn't worth it. My personal security was worth more. In the end, a toilet flushed in my face.
God.
I made an apologetic expression, like such, and bypassed the point entirely.
So, did Atlas help you any?
Freeze. From now on, Laurie, you are just the most smarmy and wonderful, loving mother.
Okay.
Smarmy and loving, okay.
She gracefully didn't dig any deeper. But her smile told me this wasn't over.
Oh, very much so, sweetie. The only reason he isn't here to beg for snacks is probably that I already let him have the entire quail I got earlier. Seriously, he is a gift. I'm making something special for him.
I laughed.
Go right ahead and spoil him. Sounds like he earned it. By the way, do you even know what to do with that thing?
I pointed at the deer. She shrugged.
In theory, at least, which is actually the reason why I wanted this half day, to try out how these things work in practice.
Makes sense. I'll leave you to it and get back to training. Just tell me if you need anything.
I glanced at the animal again.
Are you actually going to prepare the entire thing now?
No, I'll just prepare it somewhat. Do a field dress and skin it, quarter it, trim off the worst of the fat, and wrap it up real nice for the inventory. And then I'll cook it properly tonight.
Her confident tone waned.
Again, that's the theory. It shouldn't take more than an hour, I hope.
We could just cook it now, travel later on tonight?
She shook her head with a fixed expression.
Oh, I don't want to waste most of the day with cooking, and I did promise just a half of delays, right? It's no big deal. Strength isn't exactly my dump stat.
So, you've chosen the cook class? Wait, I thought you were a scout.
Her hands were working non-stop as she smiled.
Oh,
I almost did
freeze,
too.
Freeze. We need to move back to Justin's last sentence, and you are now a teen with your mind in the gutter. Talk Beavis and Butthead.
Her hands were working non-stop as she smiled.
I almost did choose cook. I like camping alone, though, and that made the decision for me. Good thing about this game, however, you can still create whatever you feel like if you know how. It's just that you won't get the bonuses.
She sprinkled salt on the steaks, brushed her hands, and stood up.
That should do it. I'm glad meat doesn't spoil inside the inventory, or tonight could prove, well, interesting.
I snorted.
Squatting in the bush is interesting? No, thank you.
I looked at the 2 remaining piles of meat. One pile looked tidy and neat, and the other, like...
What's the rest for?
Well, one pile is for Atlas, like I promised him. The other's for Jerky.
You're seriously going to create deer jerky yourself?
Mm-hmm.
She nodded.
Are you American? I've never had jerky myself, but I had a few American online friends with a serious jerky problem.
Not leading up to a pun about jerks, are you?
Freeze. Jeff, you are now a brat. A horribly bemuscled bodybuilder type who's just... Yeah, you know the type.
All right.
Jeff's real self.
Oh, you said Brad. I thought
Yeah.
you said Brad.
Oh,
Okay.
Brad.
A Brad.
Brad with a D. Yeah.
God, no. I'm not Chertog.
Good. And no, I'm Dutch. Never even tried it, but it looks really unhealthy and chewy and addictive.
The next few minutes were hard to endure, as the food over the fire slowly started spreading a mouth-watering aroma. I asked,
Do you do this kind of cooking in real life as well? I'm pretty certain I'd manage to burn everything to char.
She shook her head.
I like it, but I don't cook often. I have to... Well, I rarely have the time.
How she
One last-
hate.
Well, not...
Oh.
Go ahead.
Last
Come on,
line.
Beavis.
Oh, okay. How she changed that comment seemed a bit off. I wondered what she was about to say. Oh, well, I sure as hell wasn't going to mess with her private life. End scene. Big round of applause.
The closest
for,
I'll ever get to being.
Yeah.
I really
Lars,
like the
character giver.
gamification of these last scenes. It's
Yeah, man.
much fun.
That was a blast.
We need to
Thank you
start
very much,
awarding
Lars.
points.
We should, award points. The points don't matter; they don't mean anything. I think that Lars should hand out
The points are like
No,
Queen
I,
Elizabeth.
I think that the chat. I think people in the chat should be.
Oh, people in the
awarding points.
chat. Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
10
From now
points.
on,
Sounds like Charles. I think the Brad kind of sounded like Charles.
the Brad. The Brad sounds like Charles.
I'm Charles.
Elmo!
Are you American?
I've never had jerky myself, but I had a few American online friends with a serious jerky problem.
Yeah, so feel free to award points, 1,000 points to Gryffindor. Gryffindor they just killed it on this one. That was a blast.
Yeah, I liked it.
I just want you to narrate the entire book as an angel. Seriously.
Just the whole book as the angel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just rapture everybody right up.
All right. So yeah, that's it. That's Sound Booth Theater Live. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's do some quick plugs. I don't have any plugs. Oh yeah, I've got a plug. Check out the first audiobook, Wayward Bard. It's on Audible, and I think
and it has music.
It has music. Yes, my
when the copyright would allow.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, speaking of, dude, you should maybe try and contact like there was Blue Moon. I saw Blue Moon.
Yeah, Blue Moon.
Right. Are there any other things that could potentially?
There are. I'm thinking that I'll have to make a list and just start looking for. Yeah, it's we should hire someone. We should hire someone just to do that because that's a lot of work.
Dude, I bet Emily could get it done.
You're right. Yeah, she could probably do it.
Yeah, I sent you a list like a couple of months back with a list of all the songs in the book.
Yeah, I think you sent. Was it a YouTube playlist?
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, still figuring out exactly how I'd be completely blank on how that works.
Yeah, it can be a bit tricky. But yeah, that's my plug. Wayward Bard. Lori, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
I really like macaroni and cheese. And if you like macaroni and cheese, you're gonna love the new Crayola crayons.
Yes.
Whether you pronounce it crayons or crayon, that's your own thing. You let your freak flag fly on that. But I would recommend snorting some of those and taking a video, and please tag us.
Definitely.
For the Crayola challenge.
The Crayola challenge. And after you finish snorting, download a podcast called Never Say Macbeth, which
I have a podcast.
you might enjoy. But that's beside the point. The real important plug here is macaroni and cheese and Crayola. But if you wanted to say something about the podcast too, I mean,
yeah, I can add a.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so I have a podcast called Never Say Macbeth, and it is actors telling stories about horrifying events that have happened while they were live performing. And I think it has appeal for non-actors as well. I think it's pretty funny. Sometimes it is shocking. Sometimes it's funny.
Shocking and
usually it's a combination of both. It's on most platforms. I'm not sure what you just said, Justin. Sorry.
Oh, I said it's squeam inducing. Can I say squeam? It's like there was one episode I listened to that was very squeamish.
I don't know. Can you?
I just
did.
Just
say words like squeam?
Oh shit! I just said squeam. Yeah, and you can find that.
Have you been listening?
I haven't listened to the latest episodes. What are you at now? Are you at episode 4?
I just released my 4th one a couple weeks ago. I don't keep like a really regular schedule. I'm gonna probably have a new one up soon, but yeah, there's 4 already, and they're all relatively short. They're less than 25 minutes, and great for like a drive or whatever. And they're like crazy shit happens. Like this guy shoots himself. Somebody else may or may not poop herself, but I don't want to spoil anymore. Weird things happen when you perform for a live audience. So if you like this kind of thing, you might like the podcast. But that's all I'm going to say about that. It's not something I'm making money off of or whatever. It's just a passion project. So it's called Never Say Macbeth.
I just put the link to your. I found it on Spreaker. That was the first thing that came up on.
Yeah.
So
it's on almost everything now. So if you listen to that kind of thing, then you should be able to find it on Spotify, Apple, whatever.
Yep, the link is in the description below if you refresh.
Dope. Check it out. And Lars, your plug?
Yeah, well, I actually finally had paperbacks and finally hardcovers made of both books. So they're on Amazon right there, but if you'd like a signed version, well, I'm happy to deliver. Not for you guys. We're not getting any. Forget about it.
Okay.
The Amazon link to The Fallen Bard is in the description below.
That the fact that you have hardcovers is so cool.
It's
I fucking
nice.
love
It's
hardcovers.
a horrible business decision, but I have
Oh,
to.
really? So then,
Yeah.
you guys who are watching, if you want a limited edition, it sounds like, hardcover copy of Wayward Bard and Fallen Bard, this is the time. This is the time, and you can get it signed from Lars. How cool is that? And lastly, of course, Jeff Hayes, we gave you the final plug. What would you like to plug?
I would like to plug this YouTube channel. If you guys liked hanging out with us, listening to a little bit of a preview of our upcoming projects, then subscribe. There's a subscribe.
Wow, I just did.
Oh,
Whoa!
You can too.
Awesome.
like.
We got Lori. We finally
It was
got
so
her.
easy. All I had to do was click on the subscribe button.
Oh
Whoa.
my!
Oh,
It's just that simple, huh? There's also the
I
bell.
can't believe I didn't do that before, though. That was kind of embarrassing.
There's a bell so that it will give you notifications when we have new ones coming up, and also you can binge watch a ton of stuff. We have the requests only show that happens every other Sunday, where we take votes from the poll in the Facebook group, which also has a link down below in the description, and we read whatever the hell you guys make me read. So yeah, that's it. The Sound Booth Theater Live YouTube channel. Please subscribe.
Yay.
Perfect. Well then, I guess that brings us to the end of our show. Thank you very much, Lori, Jeff, and Lars, for hanging out and being crazy with me. And thank you all, everybody who's at home or at work or wherever you are. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for liking and subscribing. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Ciao, everybody.